Okay, traders, in this video, what I'd like to do is walk you through how to use the Tickblaze platform with Rithmic, Rithmic RTrader Pro. And there's many reasons why you would want to integrate Tickblaze with Rithmic, mainly due to the fact that Rithmic is used as a major gateway with many of the FCMs and clearing firms, especially in the commodities industry. But it's also heavily used as a main backend data provider and risk management solution for the prop firm and funding industry, right? And so what you're seeing here is the wiki for Tickblaze. You can access this on our website under the documentation tab. But for the most part, what you can easily do here is just click on this and type in the word Rithmic. You're going to see there's two sections in here. There's going to be a data connections tab, and there's also going to be a broker connections tab. Okay, so what I'd like to do first before we start going into the weeds with this is I'm just going to minimize the wiki and I'm just going to launch Tickblaze. We're going to give it a second to load. I'm going to assume you already have your login credentials and you've already downloaded the platform and you've already been able to log in and access Tickblaze. Okay, now by default, this is already set up with a data connection, which is the default standard, which is DX feed. And by default, you're already connected to a simulated paper trading account. Okay. Now, since we're going to be doing a demo for Rithmic, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assume you already have login credentials for Rithmic, whether that's directly through Rithmic as a provider, or if you're getting it through an FCM like AMP Futures or Dorman or Phillip, or essentially through a prop firm, right? Like Prop Shop Trader or Apex or Top Step, right? These are just some examples. So what I'm going to do is I'm essentially going to just come in here and I'm going to go to connections. The first thing we're going to do is we can look to add a data connection with Rithmic. So I'm going to just pull this over, and we support multiple data feeds, but for this example, we're going to use Rithmic. We're going to hit next. I'm just going to label this as PST, which stands for Prop Shop Trader, and you can use whatever name you want. And ultimately, then you're going to have the opportunity to input your username and password. Okay, I'm going to pause the video while I input this information now. Now, depending on where you were given your username and password, you will be provided with a gateway. You'll either be using Rithmic Paper Trading or one of the other funding companies. For this sake, I'm going to use Prop Shop Trader. I'm under the Chicago Gateway under Aggregated. Sometimes the FCMs like AMP Futures and some of the others will get you to use RTrader. If for whatever reason you don't seem to be able to connect, sometimes the data mode will either be Aggregated or RTrader. For this account, I know that Aggregated works. For whatever reason, if you're connecting to say AMP Futures or other brokerage firms, you can check to see if they require RTrader. Now, plugin mode is important because what the plugin mode does is it enables you to require RTrader to be loaded. Most prop firms require both the Rithmic platform and the trading platform, aka Tickblaze in this example, to have them both running simultaneously. Now, this is required because of the, risks that one platform goes down and the other goes down, and you still need to control your orders. Now, keep in mind when you use the plugin mode, you do need to have Rithmic loaded in order for it to connect inside of Tickblaze. And so when I hit finish, okay, you're gonna now see that there's a connection here for data, okay? But before I try to connect to this data feed, what I'm going to do is I'm ultimately going to connect to the Rithmic RTrader login. So I'm gonna basically click on RTrader Pro. It's going to pull up my login. Okay, and you'll see allow plugins to be on. You always want to have that on if you're going to be connecting into Tickblaze. If one is on and the other is off, or vice versa, it will never work. You either have to have them both on or both of them turned off in order for you to be able to connect into the data. Keep that in mind because sometimes you'll have these on and these off, or vice versa, and it won't connect. So I'm going to log in here. I'm going to pause while it's loading. And there you have it. Now, I automatically load the essentially dashboard and then the positions window. You can locate them inside of here, trader dashboard, and then the positions. You'll notice that I have 5 accounts in here. These are test accounts for the purpose of filming. If you'll notice here that I am not connected to Rithmic yet, so you will not see them in the drop down or in the accounts tab up here. But in order for me to see this information inside of Tickblaze, I need to connect to the brokerage account. Now, this is very important you understand how Tickblaze is different than all of the other platforms in the space. The way that Tickblaze is designed is that we have data connections and broker connections. This is by design. Now, because Tickblaze automatically comes with DX feed data, you don't have to necessarily connect to the Rithmic data feed to essentially have that. That's assuming that you are paying for the account via the website and you're not getting Tickblaze through a prop firm partner. If you're getting Tickblaze through a prop firm partner or one of our B2B partners, you will not have a built-in DX data feed, and therefore you will need to connect to Rithmic data. If for whatever reason you did subscribe to Tickblaze directly through the website as an end user, then you will always have default DXP data built in. For this example, I'm going to assume that you do not have DX feed data, and we are going to connect to Rithmic data. So I'm going to hit connection. You'll see here it said data connected up here. You can always hover over it, and you can also see here that it is, if I just bring this over a little bit, you'll see powered by Omni, platform by Rithmic, right? That's when you know that you are connected to Rithmic. You can also hover over the data connected, and it'll say Rithmic here, and it'll give you the name and your type, etc. Okay. Now keep in mind, I am connected to Rithmic data, but I am not connected to the brokerage account. So when you look here, I'm still connected to the simulator. If I want to see all of my accounts from Rithmic into Tickblaze, I need to connect to the brokerage. Okay, so I'm going to now connect to the broker connection. And a lot of times you'll see it reload, it'll say data error, and it's just resetting. It's going to eventually just flip over to connecting. There it goes, data connecting, broker connecting. And it's just because it's readapting and it's reconnecting to Rithmic, and we're at the mercy of how fast Rithmic loads, and Bob's your uncle, there they are. So you can see here I've got data coming in on the trade pad. I've also got real-time data coming in here on the markets. You can see the markets moving in real time. And essentially now you'll notice that if I put in the drop-down, you're going to see all of my accounts. I can also go up here and I can see all of my accounts, right? And you'll be able to see that there's the $45 and $45, right? And so essentially, that's how you connect to the data and the broker account. So now I am actually connected to both Rithmic and Rithmic for both data and for brokerage. And so now what I want to do is I want to point out something that is extremely important. And this is just as important as the sync. So if you go in here, I'm going to walk you through this. I'm going to show you this. I'm going to make sure plugin mode is turned on. You notice how I said it's very important to make sure plugin mode is turned on in order for them both to connect. Well, what's even more important, if you go in here and you hit tools and you go to options, you're going to want to go to runtime, and you're going to make sure that sync positions with broker is on. It's very important that this is turned on, and there's a reason for this. Because a lot of times you will execute your orders through Tickblaze, and it'll send an order into the broker. In this example, it's Rithmic, right? And you'll be able to control your orders. So watch what happens. I'm going to pick a parent account, which is the first one. I'm going to basically buy, I'll just pick a different one for the sake of keeping it clean. There you go. So I'm just going to buy one contract at market. Okay. You will see now I am in the market under positions. You will also see that it is up here in the account tab under the dashboard. And when I go to close this, okay, automatically closes, everything closes, etc. Okay, but if I want to be able to kill the position from Rithmic, for whatever reason, something happens to Tickblaze, internet, platform crashes, etc., or if something happened to the Rithmic, whatever, we need to be able to kill the positions or manage the positions from one platform or the other. It is just good practice so that you always have a safeguard to be able to execute fulfill orders, or etc. Move your positions and manage your risk. Okay, so when I essentially buy market here, for whatever reason, if I want to kill the position from inside of Rithmic, if I don't have, okay, go back in here, if I don't have sync positions with broker enabled, if I kill it here, it's not going to send the order. It'll kill it in the broker. It's just Tickblaze will not know that you've killed it from the broker. There has to be that link. So if I hit this X now, okay, and hit OK, it's going to say position synchronized, position closed. And there you go, right? So essentially this is how you get your accounts to be seen. You can monitor all of your accounts in here. Many traders are trading multiple accounts, and it's always good practice to have them set up with the sync enabled. And you always want to make sure that you are using plugin mode, right, in order for you to be able to have them both connected. Now you can connect Tickblaze to Rithmic without plugin mode on. You just have to disengage it and then turn it off inside the Rithmic side so that it's not required, okay? So if you have any questions on how to set up Rithmic for both data connections and broker connections, on how to use broker sync, how to manage your positions from one to the other, just let us know. Remember, all of this information is also inside of the wiki under configuring data connections and configuring broker connections. You can scroll down for a tutorial in a written and visual example, but our team is always an email or a remote call away. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, let us know. Take care and happy trading.